So Zombieland Double Tap was directed by Rupert Fletcher, and it stars Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, and Abigail Breslin. I actually really did enjoy Zombieland 2009. It had some really just interesting characters and concepts and really kind of flipped the zombie genre on its head while still giving zombie fans more of what they would actually like to see. A lot of blood, a lot of guts, a lot of zombies. And hey, if you liked that 2009 Zombieland film, you will like this one because it is very similar in all the right ways. You know, one thing that I was very struck with about the previews that I saw before this film is it was just a bunch of horror films that took themselves way too seriously and with ridiculous concepts because the genre has been very diluted. And, you know, I just really respect films like this that are kind of horror films, but they don't take themselves too seriously. Me, personally, I would actually like Zombieland to take itself a little bit more seriously and be a little bit more of a horror film and less of a comedy, but I feel like that takes away some of its just general appeal to the audience. You can be not so much a horror fan and still like the Zombieland franchise just because of the fact that it's so fun. And this is still very refreshing just to see a movie that just doesn't take itself so seriously. It's not so just self-important. This movie knows exactly what it wants to be, and it wears it on its sleeve and presents itself to you. And you're either going to reject it or you are going to embrace it. And I very much embraced it. All of our characters are back. You have Columbus, Wichita, Tallahassee, and Little Rock. Those are our main characters here from the first film. And, you know, they just work just as well together. And they really have a chemistry together that makes me wonder, you know, why you haven't put these actors together in other material just because they work so well off of each other. And you know what? It's the kind of chemistry you don't see between actors every day. You can tell that some of this is kind of riffed and not scripted, but that's okay when you have actors that can really do that kind of sarcastic material like this and really pull it off and feel natural. Another way this movie actually is better than a lot of the horror movies out there today is the fact that it doesn't overload itself with a lot of plot elements. You have a simple plot. Little Rock, Abigail Breslin's character, wants a boyfriend, so she sets out with one as soon as she finds one and takes off on the rest of her family here, and now they have to go find her because they are worried about her. They need to know that she is okay. And that is it. They definitely come across roadblocks and people along the way, but you know, it really is a simple plot that just allows us to just spend time with these actors and really have individual character arcs that have through lines through them, and really just you know, you get to know these characters a lot more in this movie, which is, you know, really excellent, and a lot of sequels don't allow you to do that. And then you have the fact that this movie is like an hour and 40 minutes long, which is just great. It's refreshing to actually sit down and go to a theater and watch a movie that is an hour and 40 minutes and still doesn't feel rushed and just feels very, you know, self-contained in that way. I really did enjoy that aspect of this movie, and I know that it will be a while that I experience that again because of just the state of cinema these days, where, again, I'll say it, they just have an air of self-importance about them that this movie doesn't have. Zoe Deutsch and Rosario Dawson play Madison and Nevada here, and they are just really good additions to this cast that can really riff off of the cast along with the other actors here. And specifically, Rosario Dawson is great here. And even though she just very much seems like herself, her being herself is a very natural fit to this cast. And as far as Zoe Deutsch goes, at first, I kind of didn't like her character. It was a little too much. But she is endearing, and eventually I do warm up to her, and it is just because of the fact that she is just so naive that you can't help but want to really protect her in this land of zombies. And just the way that she plays off of everybody that is just so much more aware of what is going on around them, it's really funny. And that is something that this movie does expertly well, just because of the fact that they kind of want to mix it up. And not everybody is as good in this zombie apocalypse as everybody else. And Madison is definitely at the bottom of that food chain. She would be eaten alive if it wasn't for Tallahassee and his friends. The action here is great, and the cinematography is also excellent. This is actually the same cinematographer as It Chapter 1, and I noticed a difference, and I said it in my review of It Chapter 2, in the cinematography of that film, and that was because he was working on this film. It shows. This film looks excellent, and the action scenes are very inspired and have some excellent camera work. There is some one-shot action scenes in this film. I have a sense that they aren't actual true one-shots. I think that there are some wipes in there, but even still, they just look great as these kind of artificial one-shots. Look, this movie is what it is. It's hilarious. It wears itself on its sleeve, and it just presents itself to you as, here I am. And you gotta kind of appreciate that, even if you don't exactly like this material. And for that, I am going to give this an 8 out of 10. This movie is exactly what I wanted it to be, and I loved it for that. So coming up next on the channel is my horror movie marathon. I actually have 3 reviews already recorded for you guys. There will be more, so pay attention to the channel because all of that will be coming up in the next few days. So, if you are excited about that, subscribe so you know when those videos come out. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.